So here we are once again. Good evening, folks. Welcome to Friday Night Tech Talk. So I'm going to try a little something, at least I think I am. See if I can do this. Just thought I should get that in honor of Friday the 13th. So a little opening bars of superstition. So welcome everyone. And as always, Brian and Eleanor, the first two in here. So Brian was in here more than an hour ago, and he said FNTT 13. That's what made me think about playing those few bars of superstition. I just came back with no superstition here. I'm not the superstitious type. So, and Eleanor got in more than a half an hour ago and just wanted everybody to have a great weekend. Brian liked, I guess, the superstition. Thank you, Brian. So, if you're new here, we do this every week. It's simulcast on YouTube and both of my Facebook IDs, which is Mobile Geezer or George Hayes. So, any of the three, you'll see us live. And every week, I put the show notes on my webpage. So, let me share screen and show you that. So that's on my webpage. And that's at mobilegeezer.wordpress.com. If you click on tonight's date, then you'll get the show notes just for tonight. So as we do every week, I'll give you a quick preview of what we're going to talk about tonight and what articles we're going to be looking at. So I wanted to start off. I usually try to start off with something soft most of the time. So I found one yesterday. Threads already has an edit button. So they're talking about how X took years to get an edit button, and Threads in 3 months, they've got an edit button. So that you don't have to pay for. So we'll talk about that. That's a real quick article. And then I just put possible discussion topic. After Will questioned me multiple times last week about why I purchased the iPhone 15 Pro Max, guess who bought one? So I just said, let's see if we can get him to discuss. I was texting with him, about half an hour ago, and he said he was going to be on. And about 15 minutes ago, his work asked him to come in, but he said he's still going to join on audio. So when he gets in here, I will certainly let you guys know, and we'll see if we can find out why he went out and bought the iPhone 15 Pro Max just like I have, which is mine's right here. So, okay, and I said, a new iPhone issue, not just the latest model. So it's not just the 15s, but some of these are shutting down overnight. iPhone 15s, 14s, 13s even. So we'll see about that. I gather it's not a widespread problem, but it's a problem for somebody. And then the FTC and certain state attorneys are suing Amazon for maintaining a monopoly. So we'll take a look at that story. That's a pretty serious one. And then if you're really named Siri, and that's if your real first name is Siri, iOS 17 can make you crazy. So we'll talk about the lady whose name is Siri and how iOS 17 just made things a whole lot worse for her. And then back in May, I gave you the story that Montana was banning TikTok, not just from their state stuff, but from Montana, period. So here's a follow-up. Federal judge hitting authorities in Montana with tough questions. So we'll take a look at that article. And then I said, you won't believe Nothing's new product. Some of you may have heard about this. I hadn't heard about it. So we'll talk about that. And finally, because last week and I think the week before, we were talking about the Google graveyard, how Google loves to take stuff away. Well, one more feature for the Google graveyard. So we'll talk about that too. So those are the stories we're going to go over tonight. So let me stop screen. And Renz is in here. Yo, Renz, glad to have you, brother. Renz has been awfully busy lately. As far as I know, he's usually with us from the Philippines, but Renz is at work on Saturday morning when we start on Friday night here. So he's been busy. So just glad you're in here. And Ryan says hello. So just glad you're here as always, brother. Always very glad all you guys are here. So I will keep an eye out for when Will does come in so he can discuss his iPhone 15 Pro Max, why he bought it, how much he likes it. And I'll let you know if Ted comes in here. I haven't seen him pop in at all yet either. So for now, I'm going to head to the stories. I'm going to share screen. I'm going to go back to the stories. Oh, and I hadn't finished doing my preview. Huh? Oh, yes, I did. Okay. All right, so back to the top. So we're going to talk about Threads has an edit button. And this was on TechCrunch. So I'm going to click on that. Threads is rolling out an edit button. And this was just yesterday. And it's not locked behind the paywall, unlike X. So let's put this into reader view. And I think I can probably make it a little bit bigger, I think. Yeah. Let's see. There you go. Okay, Threads is rolling out an edit button, not like behind the paywall. This was also from yesterday. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced today that Threads, Instagram's Twitter-like app, is rolling out an edit button. With this new feature, you can edit your post as many times as you want within 5 minutes of posting. Keep that in mind. I haven't tried this yet. Previously, you have had to delete a post and repost it when you want to correct a typo. So this is good news for a lot of people, I guess. Unlike X, formerly Twitter, which only added an edit button last year and then locked it behind a subscription, Threads is rolling out the edit button to users at no extra charge, which is great. The edit button is available on mobile and on the web and comes around 3 months after the social network first launched, which I think is very good. However, Threads does not show the edit history of a post, so pretty much everybody else does that I know about, which is something that X offers in order to allow for transparency while also preventing misinformation. Yeah, that could really open you up to misinformation with no history. In this case, users on Threads can post something, have it garner likes and reposts, and then change the text of the post afterwards without having any sort of record of what it had originally stated. This presents problems because it allows for the edit button to be used maliciously. Sure, you could see where somebody might say something, a bunch of people might like it, and then you go back and change it to the opposite, and now it looks like they like something that they didn't. TechCrunch has reached out to Meta to see if the company has plans to add an edit history function. So I guess this is what it looks like. Oh, and they also have a voice threads. That's what this is. Zuckerberg also announced that Threads is launching voice threads, which is like its name entails, allows users to add voice posts to the social network. The feature is a welcome update for people who prefer using voice options as opposed to text options. You post a voice post by either starting a new thread or reply, then tapping the microphone icon to begin recording. A caption of your audio clip will be generated automatically, which you can then edit, this is what they're talking about. Today's announcement comes as Threads is said to be preparing to launch a trends feature, which people will like. A lot of people have talked about that in an effort to better compete with X. The news was revealed after a Threads user spotted the update in a screenshot posted accidentally by a Threads employee. The screenshot shows a numbered list of trending topics, along with information about how many threads were actively discussing each item. Unlike on X, Threads trends list does not appear to list trends by topic, such as news and sports. It also does not appear to have a list of trends that are personalized like X's for you. Despite this, the addition of a trends page would make Threads more competitive with X. So yeah, people will be happy to see it. It's a start. So, and I think the edit button is a really good thing. I hope they add history at some point. So just wanted to start with that. And I use Threads a little bit, but only when I post to the others. I just wanted you guys to see that. Let's stop screen. Renz is driving. Yeah, stay safe, Renz. So I guess he's on his way to work. Brian says there definitely needs to be an edit history. I agree that you can really make people think quite the opposite of what it originally started out to be. So keyboard warriors talk too much ish and then deny it. Yeah, that's the definite reason. History definitely needs to be there, but it's a step in the right direction. So I won't give them any flack yet, but I hope they add some history. So no Will yet, no Ted yet. So I'll go back to the show notes and we'll continue down. And next thing I had on my show notes was Will's picking up the iPhone 15 Pro Max. But since he's not here yet, we'll just skip over him. And when he gets in here, we'll discuss. This one I just happened to run into. I said, a new iPhone issue, not just the latest models. Okay. And this was on Mashable. So let's go take a look and see what this issue is. And this was also yesterday. Some iPhones are shutting down at night for no good reason. What exactly is happening here? I don't know how widespread this is. Let's see if this tells us. We'll go into reader view. Okay. Waking up to this in the morning, you're not alone. We've come to rely on our phones for all sorts of daily tasks, including waking us up in the morning. But some iPhone owners say their devices recently failed to do that, apparently because they mysteriously turned off in the middle of the night. According to the reports from 9to5Mac, Mac Rumors, and Reddit, so it's coming in from multiple places, the issue is affecting new phones such as the iPhone 15 Pro Max, but also older models, including the iPhone 14 Pro, 14 Pro Max, and the 13 Pro Max. So random, I guess. Some users on Mac Rumors forums and Reddit say this has only happened on iOS 17. And yeah, the newer phones have, pretty much we all have iOS 17 now. But other users say this has happened on older versions of iOS as well. So nobody seems to have nailed this down yet. Aside from an alarm not going off, there are a couple of ways to determine whether this has happened to you. For example, if the iPhone is asking for your PIN in the morning, or if the battery portion of the iPhone settings is showing gaps in the charging graph for the last 24 hours. There's a large number of people who have reported nothing unusual. Yeah, I'm one of the people, nothing's happening with my phone. I never even had the overheating issues. Nothing unusual happening on their phones. For the record, it hasn't happened on my iPhone 15 Pro Max, nor mine. Running iOS 17.1, developer beta 3. I'm not running the beta. So it's hard to determine just how widespread the problem is. Yeah, nobody seems to know that. There's no word from Apple about the issue yet. We'll update this article when we find out more. So they haven't updated the article yet. So don't know how widespread this is, if it's in parts of the world or it's everywhere, but we know it's happening to multiple different phones, not just the newer phones. And let's hope it's not widespread and Apple addresses it quickly. Let's see. Nothing new in the comments. Neither Will nor Ted in yet. I hope Mike is having a good DoorDash night. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't listening. Okay. Back to the notes. Amazon, this one's kind of serious. FTC and state attorneys sue Amazon for maintaining monopoly. So let's go on Mashable. Amazon is in hot water. It allegedly made $1 billion with an illegal algorithm. The FTC is accusing Amazon of using an illegal price spiking model. So let's go into read review. Amazon has become ubiquitous with shopping. If you want nearly anything, you can get it on Amazon, typically for cheaper prices. That should be a cheaper price compared to other top retailers. Plus, Prime members often receive their packages much faster. That omnipresence and monopoly is getting the retailer in trouble. The FTC and 17 state attorneys general sued Amazon last week for illegally maintaining monopoly power. The complaint alleges that Amazon uses unfair strategies to stop rivals and sellers from lowering their prices, ensuring that Amazon has the least expensive availability around, all while degrading quality for shoppers, that I never heard of, overcharging sellers, stifling innovation, and preventing rivals from competing with them. Our complaint lays out how Amazon has used a set of punitive and coercive tactics to unlawfully maintain its monopolies, FTC Chair Linda M. Kahn said in an announcement. The complaint sets forth detailed allegations noting how Amazon is now exploiting its monopoly power to enrich itself while raising prices and degrading service for the tens of millions of American families who shop on its platform and the hundreds of thousands of businesses that rely on Amazon to reach them. Today's lawsuit seeks to hold Amazon to account for these monopolistic practices and restore the lost promise of free and fair competition. The complaint itself is interesting, sure, but some of the really juicy details have been redacted. Yeah, what's the point of releasing it to the public if you're going to redact it? Thankfully, the Wall Street Journal, always a fiend for the spicy details, found and reported some of the hidden insights under those black blocks. According to the Post report, Amazon used a secret algorithm called Project Nessie to see just how high it could raise prices while still staying lower than its competitors. If competitors raised their prices, Amazon would follow suit. If competitors didn't, the algorithm would automatically move Amazon's price back to its original lower price. Yeah, I could see as a developer how that would be very easy to program. It's all hard to figure out, though, because of all these damn redactions. But sources told the Journal that Amazon made more than $1 billion by using Project Nessie. Yeah, that's a very simple program you could write to make you a lot of money. Amazon did stop using the algorithm in 2019, though. That's pretty strange. It's unclear why. So for 4 years, they haven't been using something that's made them that kind of money. You would think they must have gotten caught back then, but I don't know. As a result, Amazon has successfully taught its rivals that lower prices are unlikely to result in increased sales. Yeah, the opposite of what should happen in a well-functioning market, the FTC alleged. So yeah, if they can prove the Project Nessie thing, they've got them. Project Nessie is just one of the many accusations the FTC is throttling against Amazon, but it is a pretty wild one. So I would think if they can prove that, they're going to get a big fine or a real good slap on the wrist anyway. So we'll see how it goes. Very interesting. All right. Anything new in the comments? Nothing new here. No Will and no Ted as yet. So if they don't get in before I get to the end, it's going to be a quick night, as you guys would well know. So let's go back. All right, now to our next story. Yeah, this one was kind of freaky. I thought it was really interesting. So what I said, if you're really named Siri, iOS 17 can make you crazy. This was on Phone Arena. This is pretty, this is very tough if that's your name. iOS 17 drives a woman nuts. People can't even call her name out loud. Meet Siri from Edinburgh. And this was published last week by Sebastian Pierre. So let's go into read a view. Back in 2014, when iOS 8 announced Hey Siri, half the world was in awe. Millions were mumbling the magic words to summon the virtual assistant in iPhone. I'm watching mine. Mine didn't kick off that time. We'll see. Since then, a woman, get this, by the name of Siri Price, living in Scotland, so that's her real name, has had her friends and clients learn not to say hey when greeting her via Apple Insider. This isn't nearly as bad as things have gotten today, now that the iOS 17 update is available. Apart from the now resolved heating issue, which I never had in the first place, and many cool features, the new iOS introduced the option to summon the iPhone's digital assistant simply by saying Siri instead of Hey Siri. Can you take a wild guess where we're headed? Correct. Nowadays, Siri can't even have her name said out loud because iPhones around get triggered and begin to beep beep even without the hey. The funny thing is that Siri Price works as a personal trainer, not exactly a detached home office type. Siri recalls her 2014 Hey Siri period where she learned to live her life without enjoying the hey greeting. But at least she kept her name intact. I work in a gym with a lot of people around, she told UK's The Sun. So everyone learned quite quickly not to say hey when they greet me, or there would be a lot of bleeping going on. It was annoying but manageable. Now people can't even say my name. Siri Price comments on the iOS 17 change. I'm absolutely fuming. Her boyfriend, who has an iPhone, got the iOS 17 update, and every time he spoke to her, his phone would wake, triggered by her name. On a side note, we can offer 3 solutions to the boyfriend situation. Yeah, these are not good solutions. Siri Price can buy her beloved a OnePlus device, for example, I guess any other Android phone. The boyfriend can start calling Siri not by her name, but baby, dear, love, and many more. Yeah, that would make sense. Finally, he can choose to turn Siri's voice triggers off, which he could. But the problem, of course, is much bigger than that. Even if they ditch the Apple phones at home or never uttered the name out loud, Siri still has to meet other people. So the most natural thing to do is change her name. That is rough, man. After all, why not? Technology gives, technology takes. That is very, very rough. My workmates had to sit down and think of a workaround, she continued, because people's phones have been going off nonstop. A solution has been to have people call her Sis instead. That is very tough. You got to change your name. Anyway, I just thought that was a really, really interesting story. So let's see. Brian commented on the Amazon story. He said, no surprise from Amazon. That's what I was thinking, the same thing, Brian. He says, who uses Siri? I almost never use it. And I've had my iPhone with me in 4 days this week. So I'm like you, I guess. I don't use it. Can you customize the keyword for Siri? I hadn't thought of it, but I'm guessing you can. I'll see if I can do that this week and try to remember to get back to you guys next week. So interesting. Anyway, I feel bad for the lady, but hopefully she'll get by okay. And here's Will. Good timing.
Yo, what's going on, George?
Okay, did you see that? Did you see the show notes at all that I sent?
No, George, I didn't see nothing.
Okay.
When they called me to come in here, I was like, just coming home from eating. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go in with George. Then they called me. So I'm
Yeah,
sitting here at a med
I had
card.
sent the show notes about 5 minutes before you said that they called you in.
Yeah.
But I just finished a story. I'm not going to go back to it, but there's a lady in Ireland whose name is actually Siri. That's her real name, Siri Price. And
Oh my
because they
God.
have now changed iOS 17, we don't even have to say, "Hey Siri," it's going crazy for her. So she can't even use her own name, and nobody can. So I just thought that was an interesting story. All right, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here, George.
Okay. All right, so now we're going to go back to, after all of you questioning, you kept asking me, okay, so what made me get the upgrade to the Pro Max? So now it's your turn to let us know since last week, what made you go? You went from the 14 Pro, was that it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
14 Pro.
So what made you go up to the 15 Pro Max? Especially when I know you don't even like big phones. Now, of course, this is
You
not
know,
as big as the 14 Pro Max, but tell us about it.
I'm gonna say it was because of the. I know, Mama. It was because of the button, George.
So you're like me. That
Nah,
the
listen, no.
button.
It's a. I'm just playing. It was a. That was me and my friend were laughing about it. But
Okay.
nah, it was the it was the camera. The camera. I wanted the camera.
Okay.
I always
Okay.
want the most, whatever the best camera, whatever they got.
And I agree with you. And that was part of it for me too. Part of it was the digital 5X.
Yeah, I wanted the camera, and then um the button. I do like it. Like the button, I think that is better than the switch.
I agree.
It was a
I
pain. It
agree.
was a pain having to dig your finger in there to flip the switch. The button is a lot easier.
I
Like I
agree. I
still have
agree.
mine set for mute. I didn't switch it.
Yeah,
But
me neither. But I need to get around to making some kind of short video about the button itself. But I'm a little backed up on things right now. Like the other day, I went out. You guys saw that I did a photo comparison between the 14 Pro Max and the 15 Pro Max, and that got uh, people seem to like the way I did that one. So I went out the other day and I did a video comparison, but I haven't had a chance to edit it yet. So that's in the
mm,
pipeline, hopefully for this weekend.
yeah, and I also have a Pixel on order. It's not due to come until November 20 something
Oh,
because
it's
I
that
wanted the
far? Is that
porcelain one.
backed up?
Yeah, I wanted the porcelain. I was going back and forth. I had ordered one early, then I canceled it. And then Mike's like, just do it, just do it. So I'm like, all right.
Okay,
So I put it back. And I probably could have ordered the black one and got it quicker. But I do
right.
want porcelain. So if I'm going to get it, I figure I'll get that one.
Okay. Now,
And it's
knowing
the
you,
only reason I'm getting that. Only reason I want that is um they said they're going to support it all those years. And,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I haven't had like one long term. It's been a while now. Like the
Well, the
six was like
last
the
few
last.
years, every time you order one, you send it back in a couple of weeks or
Yeah.
days.
See you later, Barb. The six is like the last one that I actually
Okay,
used for
okay. Oh, Gary's in here. Gary, glad you're here, brother. And Gary's asking, well, who'd you order your phone from? Oh, we lost Will. I hope he gets back in here. Well, as soon as he gets back in here, I'll try to give you guys an answer. I'll give you an answer, Gary. Brian says I'm gonna get the Black Panther edition. If any, I didn't know there was a Black Panther edition. That's got to be pretty cool. Okay, so okay. Will is back.
my fault, George. Google. So I had
Uh,
ordered it at first, then I canceled it. And when I went back,
okay,
they were already pushed back or whatever. But I ain't really in no rush, like because I got the iPhone. That's what I was trying to
exactly.
figure out what I'm gonna do with it. And Mike was like, just get another line. That's always me and Mike's debate.
Right.
Because we all can carry around 8 phones.
Well, Mike's like me. Mike has at least 3 lines all the time, right?
Yeah, I don't know how y'all do it,
And so do I, yeah.
but I did
Well,
get it from
I
Google
just
because I
got it.
wanted to watch. So
Okay. See, I have the original watch, and I didn't think it was worth the upgrade. For me, it's nothing was worth the upgrade. And Ted is in here. Ted, you should get in here. Will's in here. And we just lost Will again. Hopefully, he'll come right back again. He said good evening. Yeah, Brian said Obsidian is the way to go. Gary said, I kind of agree with that, Gary. I kind of like that color. We lost Will Dunn, but I think he's coming right back. At least I hope. So we'll tell him. Okay. He just sent me a text message. Says be right back. So Don, I'll let him know as soon as he gets back. He is at work now, so just like Ren's, so work has to take priority. Everybody's saying hello to Ted. Ted, you need to be in here with us, especially since Will's at work and I keep losing him. But he did say hello to you guys. So, all right. So I guess I'll go on to next story until Will comes back. So I'm going to try that. And we were getting some good talk about I didn't know he was going to order the Pixel either, so that's good to know. And still talking color. Don likes baby blue. I am not upgrading from the 7 Pro. I am upgrading the watch as soon as possible. Now, see, I'm not upgrading from the 7. I don't even have it with me today. Today, I have my Motorola Razr Plus, and I have my Galaxy S23 Ultra and my 15 Pro Max. Those are the three I had at work with me today. But I'm not upgrading from the 7, and I'm not upgrading from the original Pixel watch either, or the original Pixel Buds Pro. So I saw a video from one of the guys in Germany who does good videos, and he thinks he thought the original Pixel Buds Pro were terrible, and he thinks the new ones are terrible, even though they're a little bit better. He admits, but he says do not buy them. For me, I tend to use my Pixel Buds Pro at home a lot. I almost never take them out because I always take out my Galaxy Buds Pro 2. The Galaxy Buds 2 Pro. I think it's Pro 2. But those are the ones I tend to take out on bike rides, and those are the ones I take with me to work when I go to work, like I did today. But the Pixel Buds Pro, I find good, but using them at home, I'm almost never listening to music. I'm always listening to either something on YouTube or some kind of podcast. So it's almost always talking. The one issue I have with the Pixel Buds Pro, all my other good ones, like the Galaxies and what else do I have? Oh, I have 4 or 5 of them. But you switch phones and you just connect them and they're good to go. The Pixel Buds, they connect right back to the Pixel phones, but you go to put them back on any other phone. Almost every time you have to pair it all over again, and it's aggravating as all get out. Once in a while, I'll go to pair the Pixel Buds to the iPhone or the S23, and they'll just connect right away. But most of the time, you've got to go back and pairing. Now, luckily, the Pixel Buds Pro has that button in back to make it easy to put them in pairing mode. But I find that very aggravating, but because they always connect to the Pixel phones, but the other phones, you got to be prepared to pair them. I don't know why. Yes, Gary says multi-point is the issue. Yeah, and Samsung has no problem with that. So that I find so I hope the new ones do better, but I'm not getting them, so I won't find out. Any of you that do get them, you let me know. Oh, and Don says, I got a new job. I waited and waited. Okay. He said, I am glad for that and enjoying my tech. Good for you. Congratulations, brother. Very happy to hear that. Oh, is that why you moved back to Texas? I'm guessing. No. Let me know. What did he say? George, I felt like you exercising today, but it was detailing a boat on land. I can see, well, that would be a whole lot of work. And that makes sense. Okay, so the screen keeps buffering. I'm getting a message. Your browser has blocked your screen. Click the screen icon in your address bar to allow access. All right. I'm going to reload the site, guys. Let's see what happens. Okay, I should be back, guys. And let's hope the buffering has stopped. I think everything should still be okay. Somebody let me know if everything looks and sounds okay now, if you don't mind. I'm going to try and wait to see if somebody tells me things look okay. According to this, I'm still live. Yeah, still live. So we should have just reloaded and kept going, is my guess. Okay, thanks, Don. So I guess it's okay now. So hopefully it doesn't happen again. I'm still waiting for Will to come back in. Okay, yeah, Don says so far so good. Thanks, Don. Appreciate that. All right. Guess I'm going to go back to stories. I'm really hoping that Will gets in there soon. I wish Ted would pop in. Ted's getting too spoiled typing in the comments. Okay. Okay. All right, we did the Amazon, we did that. Oh, TikTok. We're up to TikTok. So back in May, I reported that Montana had done a ban on TikTok, not just for their state employees, but for the entire state. Well, of course, TikTok lawyers and some of their users filed, sued them for blocking them. So there's an update to that. I said, TikTok may follow federal judge hitting authorities with tough questions. Yeah, this judge thinks they've gone way too far. He hasn't ruled yet, but I'll show what we mean. We're on CNN Business. Federal judge rips into Montana's statewide TikTok ban. And this was updated yesterday, and this is by Brian Fung on CNN. So let's drop it into Reader View. Okay. A Montana federal judge on Thursday tore into a contested state law that bans TikTok from all personal devices, saying in a hearing that the legislation appears driven by paternalistic views of social media users and suggesting lawmakers could have taken many steps short of an attempted ban to achieve their goals. The sharp criticism, and he goes on, of Montana's legislature and attorney general comes as TikTok and the group of content creators on the platform have sought a ruling temporarily blocking the law. So these people want an injunction against that law. The legal battle is closely watched because it is viewed as a bellwether for TikTok's future in the United States, where dozens of states and the U.S. government have already banned the app on official devices, so only state workers, but have so far refrained from blocking the app on private devices. So Montana is the only state that has done that. TikTok declined to comment on the hearing. Montana became the first state to authorize a complete ban on TikTok when lawmakers passed SB 419 in April and Governor Greg Gianforte signed the bill in May, prompting an immediate legal challenge hours later. In Thursday's hearing to consider a possible temporary injunction, District Judge Donald Malloy repeatedly challenged arguments and analogies offered by Montana Solicitor General Christian Corrigan, at one point faulting Corrigan for providing not a very good analogy, and I think we'll see that analogy later. Corrigan argued that Montana's TikTok ban is about protecting residents from data security abuses by TikTok. The text of the legislation prohibits TikTok from offering services within Montana and penalizes App Store operators from providing the app for download. Each offense carries a potential civil penalty of up to $10,000 per violation per day. So you can bet when it does kick in, if it kicks in, that Apple and Google won't let that be downloaded. That wouldn't be very smart of them. Citing public reports about TikTok's links to China through its parent company ByteDance, Corrigan said lawmakers have been responding to a widespread concern about possible Chinese surveillance of U.S. users, and that's what everybody says. But the judge has some answers to that. U.S. officials have said that Chinese government influence over ByteDance could potentially lead to U.S. TikTok users' data being exposed to Beijing, which is very true, which might facilitate spying, blackmail, or other espionage activity. Attorneys for TikTok and the content creators, however, argued that the public reports alone do not amount to sufficient evidence to justify a total ban on TikTok, and added that TikTok submitted sworn declarations in the case committing that the company has not shared U.S. users' data with China. Well, who's going to believe that, though? What else would you say? Malloy grilled, this is the judge, Malloy grilled both sides repeatedly about the standard of evidence lawmakers should have been required to meet before passing legislation enacting the ban. So he thinks they jumped the gun. The state doesn't need to form a blue ribbon commission to show that fire is dangerous or water is wet, Corrigan replied. That's the state guy. Alexander Berengott, an attorney for TikTok, responded by quoting Montana Attorney General Austin Knutson's own past words about the ban that have characterized TikTok as an alleged agent of China. I guess you'd have to prove that, I guess. The real purpose of the statute is to declare a foreign policy for the state of Montana, Berengott said, arguing the state law conflicts with the federal government's constitutional role as the leader on matters of foreign affairs. Malloy appeared to side with Berengott on the issue, suggesting that Knutson's rhetoric was totally inconsistent with the state's current legal defense. Yeah, I guess you'd have to prove that they were an agent of China. It seems like everything the Attorney General argued at hearings in public statements are directed to, we are going to teach China a lesson, not we are going to protect people, Malloy told Corrigan. So that's the judge's problem. Ambika Kumar, an attorney representing the group of TikTok creators, said SB 419 tramples on the First Amendment rights of consumers and of TikTok itself. And I have to say, he's probably right about that. Our position is that the state has gone completely overboard, Kumar told the court. It's not even close as to whether they regulated too much, and that's underscored by the alternatives that they had that they appear not to have even considered, and I think that's part of the judge's objection. Later in the hearing, Malloy, that's the judge again, appeared to agree with that view while questioning Corrigan. Yep. It seems to me there are a number of things that a legislature might have or could have done, he told Corrigan. For instance, instead of banning TikTok, regulate what data they could obtain, create some sort of criminal statute if they obtain data illegally or against the will of the users. They could get prosecuted criminally or create a civil remedy for individuals. Knudsen could have even gone on television to issue public service announcements warning Montanans not to use TikTok, Malloy suggested. Malloy pressured Corrigan to articulate some sort of limiting principle on the ban and appeared concerned that Montana stands alone in issuing a flat prohibition on TikTok. Yes, the limiting principle. He just thinks they went too far. Doesn't that seem a little strange? He said, comparing the situation to a marching band where one player is marching out of step. Corrigan argued that Montana is a leading state on a significant issue and that if it were to win the case, other states could follow suit. Elsewhere in the hearing, Corrigan compared preventing Montanans from handing their personal data to TikTok to barring a specific model of cell phone from being sold within a state due to evidence showing the cell phone model causes cancer or explodes on users. That's a bad analogy, I think, says the judge. Well, I think that's not a very good analogy. I agree. But that's your argument, Malloy said. Your argument just confuses me, Malloy continued. That's sort of a paternalistic argument that, consumers don't know what they're doing. Malloy vowed to issue a ruling on a possible temporary injunction as quickly as I can. So no ruling yet, but it sure sounds like the judge is going to come down on the side of TikTok. And legally, there may be good reason. So I'll keep you guys updated as this becomes, as this develops further. So nothing from Will back yet. Stop screen for a minute. Downstairs buffering again. Okay, I'm not getting the message anymore, so I'm guessing that came and went. Don says China can control anything it wants to. Right, George? I don't believe them. Yeah, I see the point, and that's right, because in order to run any business in China, to start the business, you have to agree to let the CCP look at anything they want to look at in your company. Otherwise, you cannot legally even start the business in China. But of course, they're going to deny that they're giving the CCP anything. And in most of our cases, would it do the CCP any good to have our data? Probably not for most of us, but I'm sure for some, and for some state officials in Montana, it might. So, sticky situation, but it'd be interesting to see how it goes. So, no Will, no Ted yet. So, back to the stories. At least we did get a little discussion from Will about why he bought the phone. So, basically, he bought it for the cameras. Like me, he likes the new button on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So, let's see. Don said... Don said he's confused. He just disagreed. My cousin sued Ford on behalf of Firestone Tires about 2 decades back and won. We have 6 attorneys in the family. I guess that does help out. Yeah, I don't think he's confused. He just disagrees. Yeah, I agree. So, all right. Now I'm going to come to a story that interested me, and it sounds like this has been around a couple of months. I had no clue. I just said, you won't believe Nothing's new product. This is on Phone Arena. It's a beer. So, and of course, this is my kind of humor. Here's what's brewing at Nothing. This was published on the 9th and by Alan Friedman. So let's drop it into ReaderView. Oh, I'm going to take this out of ReaderView too, I think, because I think down further we're going to want to see it. But and the funny thing is, they first brought this up on April Fool's Day. Last April Fool's Day, Nothing announced what appeared to be a joke about the company brewing a beer in a silver can that featured the dot matrix font associated now with the company. But the joke is on us, as beer 5.1% is now available in the UK, and nothing says that it is working on making beer 5.1% available in more countries. You can request to be added to a mailing list for the product and get notified when the product is available in your area by heading to the Nothing website. And I did look at the US website. I couldn't find it there. I even looked at the UK one. But when I typed in Nothing beer, it popped up. And it looked like it was on a US site. But I'll show you in a few minutes. The brew, which contains water, rice, malted barley, hops, and yeast, is 5.1% alcohol by content, which we guess is pretty obvious from the name of the product. Yeah, I'd say so. Nothing uses its typically minimalistic naming and packaging for its beer, which is sold by the box, with each box containing 4 cans or in 6 packs. To promote the video, Nothing released a 15-second advertisement showing you Nothing phone filling the glass with Nothing beer, 5.1%. Nothing to look at here, but they've got my sense of humor. I'm going to take it out of reader view so we can take a quick look at that. And you won't hear the sound, but all it is the sound of pouring beer. Let's see if I can get it to. I got it to work earlier. Of course, you don't want to cooperate now, right? There we go. Beer's coming out of it. I think that's kind of cool. So that makes a nice little ad. So I think that's kind of cool. So the name of the beer is going to lead to some interesting moments. If someone overdoes it with the concoction and is pulled over by the cops, he is undoubtedly going to be asked what he had to drink. Answering truthfully and saying nothing is not going to be appreciated by law enforcement. And this is why I had to take it out of reader view, because you couldn't see this tweet on X. Introducing beer 5.1%, crisp, unfiltered rice lager, carefully crafted for a distinct and drier taste, independently brewed in Wales, UK, Nothing engineer approved, technically refreshing. You can sign up for updates at nothing.tech. Let's see if I can. I think I pulled it up earlier. Let's see if I can pull it up on the website and let you guys see it. Yeah, when I type it in, Nothing beer, it's Nothing international. But now I can show you guys. See, there it is. And it's on. No, that's not it. That's mine. Okay. There it is. So you can see it says it's on Nothing US, us.nothing.tech. But yeah, when you go straight in, you can't find it. But when you type in Nothing beer, you can get to it. So I guess you can sign up right here to find out when the beer is available in your area. So I just think it's kind of a cool and interesting kind of story. You know. Let's see. So okay. When Nothing first posted its tweet on April 1st about the Nothing beer 5.1%, the company said that the brew was Nothing engineer approved, technically refreshing, which we saw in the tweet. The brewery making the beer, Wales Microbrewery Freetime Beer Company, said amidst their mission to make tech fun again, Nothing came to us to create their very own beer for the launch of their Soho store. People liked it so much, we made some more. So now they're just spreading out, I guess. As we noted, right now, beer 5.1% is available through Nothing's online store and at its retail outlet in Soho. The price is £20, approximately $24.47 in American dollars for a 6-pack. So, like I said, if you guys want to find it, if you don't find it, just type in Nothing space beer and you can go to the website and sign up. I just thought it was a really, really interesting story. And here's Will. Will, we got you
What's going
back?
on? Yeah. It's a busy
Okay.
night.
Okay, so
What was
you're
the story
busy at
about the
work. All
beer?
right.
Summarize that real quick. I missed it. I come in at the end.
Well, on first of all, nothing announced this on April Fool's Day, so like the people in this story in Phone Reader thought it was a joke, but turns out it's not a joke. They actually had this company in Wales make this beer for them called Beer 5.1%, and for the opening of their store in London. Well, I gather people liked it so much that they decided to make more of it, and there I put the picture back up again. So they decided to make more of it, and you can. I thought when I go to the site, I didn't find the beer, but if you type in nothing space beer, it pops up with the right one, and you can go there and sign up for when it's available in your area. So I just thought it was kind of a cool story. So nothing has their own beer.
Come on. You gonna give it a shot, George?
If it pops up here, yeah, I didn't sign up for the info yet, but I probably will at some. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what it tastes like. So anything else? Here's Big House. Yo, Big House, glad you're here. Will is here. Will had to go to work, but he is here to tell us about why he bought the iPhone Pro Max, iPhone 15 Pro Max after he gave you all that static last week and getting it, and then he went out and got it. And basically, Will, you said it was more for the
Camera.
camera than anything else, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And like me, Will likes the button. The button is a lot better than the old switch, and I agree. You know.
Yeah, the button is
And Big
much
House,
better
we're
than
just
that
glad you're
switch.
here. So anything else you want to say about the phone?
Oh, I mean, everything else is the same. You know, it's an iPhone. It's an
Yeah, yeah.
iPhone, George. But
Yeah,
it's good.
I am liking it a whole lot. Like I said, over the weekend I'll be putting up my first comparison between the 14 Pro Max and 15 Pro Max video, but that'll be all for the 14 Pro Max because I sent it in as my trade-in day before yesterday. Yeah, Wednesday, after I did all the filming. So after that,
Where did you trade in at Apple, right?
yeah, at the Apple site, yeah,
What did they give you?
$650.
Yeah, it's the same. That ain't bad.
Yeah. So after that, next week, I'm going to be comparing it camera wise, photo wise, with the Galaxy S23 Plus. I mean, yeah, the Galaxy S23 Ultra, sorry. So that's going to be for next week, but I've got a couple of, I'm going to get that one I did with the video already out, and then I've got to do a case video, and then I'll get to it. So it'll be sometime Tuesday or Wednesday when I get back to that. But everybody seemed to like the photo comparison I did with the 14 Pro Max.
So, what did you think of the early videos coming out about the Pixel, George? Early reviews.
The few I've seen, I haven't seen anything real serious, but everybody seems to be very
Down
pleased
there.
with it. Are you getting the same impression?
I think they're mostly positive.
Right.
I think I saw like MKBHD was like praising it a lot,
Okay.
saying like the battery was good, and then I saw Dave 2G came on. I think he gave like the more really what it is because he basically
Okay.
said the battery's similar to last year.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen either one yet, and both of those will be usually two of the ones I will look at first, but I haven't had a chance to look at either one yet.
He kind of just said like he was just like it's the battery life is similar to last year, which is
right, which I gather he meant wasn't particularly great.
it's not great, but I guess it's just okay. But I think could you imagine if they had like the chip that Samsung's using?
Uh-huh. Right.
I mean, I
Yeah,
guess they would say they wouldn't be able to do all the Google stuff, but
right.
the battery life would probably be a lot better.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, because
And then you figure
Exynos chip is in it too.
But you figure that screen that they got now, if it's really that bright, it's probably
Right.
killing battery. Now Mike got one,
Yeah, he got the Pro or the regular.
the Pro, but I haven't heard him say anything about the battery yet.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's pretty early for that. What did he get it yesterday or earlier?
He got it. I think he got it the other day.
Okay.
It came the other day.
Yeah, and as far as the screen, what the Pro does 2400,
What are
right?
you talking about? 24 or 22?
Yeah, 24. Yeah, because I think the regular does 2000 and the Pro does 2400. So yeah, that's some seriously bright screen.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
everybody said the screen is good.
yeah. Don likes the fact that you bought. He said Will bought the 15 Pro Max, good one. It seems like I'm buffering every once in a while. Don is telling me, but I don't think there's anything I can do about it. Yeah, it seems to straighten itself out. Okay, what else? Big House said, still not a fan of eSIM, so I'll be holding on to my 13 Pro Max for a while. Yeah, see, I don't know. And if you guys remember last year when I got the 14 Pro Max, and some people were having a hard time switching to the eSIM, and some people had to contact their provider.
I haven't had no issues with the eSIM.
Yeah, mine was smooth as silk. Well, this year, going from the 14 Pro Max to the 15 Pro Max was even easier. I mean, it transferred over in, I'd say, 5 minutes or less.
Yeah,
So,
I haven't had no issues with eSIM.
me neither. I haven't had any issues whatsoever. I never had the overheating issues. You neither, right?
Nah, mine. Well, you figure I got the update because I got mine after they pushed it. But
Yeah,
I
me
know, like
too.
switching the eSIM or switching the thing over. I got my phone. Went to the thing like the setup, and then it just said, "Do you want to transfer your thing over?"
hmm And I was especially watching for it to heat up because of all the videos I had already seen. It didn't heat up particularly at all, even while I was copying, because most people were saying when they copied over and started for the first time, that's when it really got hot. Mine never got particularly hot, so I had no issues at all. And mine was before they issued the update.
George, did you see what they added now
What?
to the about settings? They got a cycle count in there for your battery.
Oh, I didn't see that. Let me take a look.
Yeah, there's a cycle count for the battery. If you go to about,
Right.
it shows you your cycle count when your battery was manufactured and the first time you used it.
All right. Where's my about?
If you go to settings and just type about, it'll bring you to the.
Oh, just search. Okay. That's under general. Okay. Now I'm looking for what?
It should say it all the way at the bottom.
Okay.
There should be a cycle count.
Oh yeah, cycle count. That's right. I saw something on somebody's video and I forgot all about it. First use October 23, manufacturer date August. They even have certificate trust settings. Cool. Yes, first
Did
time
you,
I looked at this.
So you didn't turn on the battery thing, did you? Where it only charges to 80?
No, I did
so
not.
yeah, these ones have that. They have a setting now where you can set it to only charge to 80. I guess.
And I saw that on somebody's video, but I'm the type. I'm kind of like Flossie that way. I want everything at the max all the time. That's how I want things.
Yeah,
And if I can't have it, that to me something's wrong. I'm just like Flossie on that. Just like my display. My display is always as bright as I can get. So that's how I like everything.
You're welcome. You always max it out, huh?
I always put everything on max, and I never turn on battery saver or anything like that. I just don't do that. I want full power. If I paid for it, I should be able to have full power and everything. Flossie says the same thing, and I agree with him 100%. Let's see. Big House says, looks like the Pixel 8 screen is set at 60 hertz. Oh, I have the box. I just toggled it up to 120 hertz. Well, yeah, isn't that what they did last year too, I think?
Because they don't want you to use the maximum settings out of the box.
Yeah, the Big House said 80% screen for me. Okay, so Big House is going with 80. Yeah, And everybody's not going to be like me and Flossie. Maybe we're just greedy. I don't know.
You didn't, George. You weren't curious about the watch because they said it's a lot better.
No, because I kept the one thing. If I was going to get something other than the 15 Pro Max, it was going to be the watch. And remember, I was intrigued by your Watch Ultra,
Yeah.
but I kept I looked at my Apple Watch SE.
No, I mean the Pixel Watch.
Oh, the Pixel Watch. No, because I had the original Pixel Watch. I don't see it being all that much.
They're saying that the battery is better.
But the battery for me is fun. Keep in mind now, I use 4 watches every single week. I go from the Apple Watch. The next day I go with the Pixel Watch. The next day I go with the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. The next day I go with the TicWatch Pro 5. And then I just do it all over again. And whatever phone I'm using, whatever main phone of the 2 phones I carry every day, is based on which watch I have. Like today, I have on the TicWatch 5 Pro. Well, that is on my Motorola Razr Plus. So that was my main phone today. My secondary phone today was my Apple, my iPhone. But I also happened to have my S23 Ultra today, but I didn't really use it at work. I used the other 2. So, there's no reason for me to go up on a watch, on any watch, because what do I mainly use a watch for? Well, I use it for health. And as healthy as I am, there's nothing those watches are going to give me that I'm going to benefit from. I don't keep my watches on when I sleep. And that would be the only benefit I could get out of it. Other than that, nothing it can give me, because whatever reading it gets from me and my health, it's going to be a perfect reading, just like I get every time I go to the doctor. That's how healthy I am at 78 years old. So, that's because I keep myself that way. So to me, moving up on a watch, when it's mostly for health reasons, it's a waste of money. So I won't do it. So that's just how I look at it. Big House. Flossie trashed the watch so bad he called it zesty. Really, I didn't even watch.
He did what? He did what, George? He called it what?
Big House said Flossie trashed the watch so bad. Smile. He called
the new one.
I guess the new one. Yeah, he called it zesty. 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 I didn't even get to watch anything Flossie's done. So
that was one of the main. I was like, I'm gonna, go with it because they're giving it for free. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's kind of, it makes the proposition of the phone.
So you should be getting that soon, right?
No, it's not coming until November.
Oh, the watch isn't coming until the phone comes?
Everything, yeah.
Oh, I thought they would send the watch right away.
Nope. Everything's pushed back to like the second week in November.
Okay, all right.
But I'll get to hear Mike tell me about his, I guess.
Yeah.
Because Mike didn't have the first one either. Remember, he was like kind of skeptical.
Yeah. See, the only thing I'm not crazy about on the first one, all my other watches are bigger. The Pixel Watch is kind of small. And even when Mr. Mobile
he
interviewed him, even he said some people thought we'd make a bigger watch, but no, we stayed with the same side.
You know why they stayed with the same size? They probably have parts left.
Yeah, that's probably true.
They have parts left over.
Hey, Annette, glad you're here. Good you dropped in with us. We got Will telling us why he went out and bought the iPhone 15 Pro Max after questioning me last week, but he loves it also, like I do. So, Don says, I do wish for the watch to be seamless. Okay. And he said, Big House because he hates it. Don says because Flossie hates the small wrist, and Flossie he doesn't like the small wrist sizes. I know that. He never liked the first gen of the because of the smaller size. Okay. You piss off Floss, he doesn't like you.
He called it zesty.
Yeah, Flossie doesn't. But I'm, as far as the one thing I have in common with Flossie is that we both like everything set on the max. So, but yeah, I just have no reason to upgrade a watch when my current watches give me all my health data that I could possibly want. Okay, I've got one story left. You gonna stay with me while I read this one?
Yeah, I should be. I should be good.
Okay. All right. This is because last week we talked about the Google Graveyard, and the week before I've got one more. I just found this out yesterday. This is on Phone Arena. Google. So what I said in mine was one more feature for the Google Graveyard. So Phone Arena says Google removes decade-old feature from the camera app on the Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro. And this was 3 days ago by Alan Friedman. So I'm dropping it into read view. Ever wonder what the Photosphere feature is on the Google camera app?
I knew you were gonna say that. They got rid of that.
That's what it is. Yep. Photosphere allows a Pixel user to take pictures and have them stitched together to produce 360 street view style panoramas. I've never even used mine. The feature debuted back in 2012 on the Nexus 4, and now Google is removing it from Google Camera App version 9.1, which is pre-installed on the Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro. So you can't use it on those anymore. The feature remains on older Pixel models using Google Camera App version 9.0 or older. So I need to check my 7 to see if it still has it and try it out. Whether Photosphere will be removed once the older phones receive Google Camera App 9.1 is unclear at this point. Even though not too many Pixel users were using Photosphere, I certainly wasn't, there are some users who are upset at Google for making this call. I definitely should have used it, but I never got around to it. One user wrote on Reddit, "Why in the world would Google remove Photosphere? Every time I used it around an iPhone, they would be shocked that it's in the regular camera app. What a disappointment, man." Another Reddit user had only kind words to say about Photosphere. "I'm so pissed about this. It's my favorite camera feature. It captures places unlike anything else." And you can see that with people who got used to using it would probably really get upset. I can understand that. Why Google didn't put too much thought into promoting Photosphere about a decade ago, it released, while Google didn't put too much thought into it, about a decade ago, it released a video that shows how to use the feature. If you create a worthy 360 Photosphere photo, you can submit it to Google Maps and you might find it published on the app. Now that Photosphere is getting some attention, although this attention, ironically, is because the feature is being dropped on the Pixel 8 line, those with an older Pixel model who previously ignored Photosphere, like me, might start using it, like me, and discover that it is a feature that they really enjoy using. If you do have a Pixel 7 series, which I do, a phone or older, you still have the opportunity to use Photosphere, so take some time to create some 360 images now, just in case the feature is also removed from your Pixel phone. So something else I need to also do this weekend, create some 360 on my Pixel 7.
Dang, that's been around since the Nexus.
Yes, it's the Nexus 4, so that's a long time. That's
So
11 years.
What I don't understand is why would you get rid of it? It's not hurting nobody for you to code it.
I
You know
don't.
what I mean?
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that Google does, which nobody gets. Why would you do this?
And we're supposed to think that they're going to support a phone for 7 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it's almost like they're doing something like, is it for spite or what? You know, it seems spiteful. It just seems very illogical.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
how would you get rid of a feature that you already made? Like you know what I mean? You don't have to develop it anymore. It's there.
Yeah. Don had said he has a Gen Watch. It's a good watch, 1 year in Canada. Yeah, the same as me. Annette likes the fact that you got. She said, "Way to go!" Thinking about the iPhone 15 Pro Max also. So far, Annette, Will likes this. I love mine. So that's the best I can tell you for now. Yeah.
I mean, it's an iPhone. Like, it's no surprises with it. The button is cool. I like the button.
The button is very cool.
It's just like a natural thing to me. You know what I mean? Pushing the button. Yeah. I haven't changed it to like the camera or none of that. But
Oh, and Annette, and I guess because maybe not her. I already did the iPhone 14 Pro Max versus the 15 Pro Max with photos. You probably saw that yesterday, day before yesterday, before I sent in my 14 Pro Max on my trade-in. I did a video comparison between the two. I haven't had a chance to edit it yet, so I should have that up sometime this weekend.
What
And
color
I also,
phone did you get, George?
what I got the blue. I thought the blue was just cool. Here, let me take
Okay.
the case off.
I
What
got the
color did you get?
natural, the
You got the
natural
natural. A lot of
titanium.
people like the natural, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's the blue in person, up close in person. There it is.
I got the natural, and I got my wife the natural titanium.
Oh, you got your wife the natural one too?
Yeah.
Okay. So now she can say you make her feel like a natural. Okay.
Hey,
I couldn't resist that.
in this
I wasn't going to sing Aretha, but I had to say it.
I'm all right. How are you? I'm talking to you. What's going on, Miss Bell?
Now, for those who don't know, Will was called into work just before I went on, so that's why he's talking to other people.
I'm all right. How are you?
And that says owning a recycle company. I already have the 14 Pro Max. Yeah. Okay. All right, we're done. And Will, I'm so happy you came in.
Yeah, George. Next week I got you.
Okay. All right. Very much looking forward to it. But glad you came in tonight. And glad that everybody came in. Glad that Renz took a moment to drop in. Glad Annette came. All you guys. Big house. And of course, Gary and Don and Brian, you guys are always welcome. Eleanor, very happy you guys came in. I think I mentioned everybody. So Ted came in the comments, but he didn't come in. I guess he didn't have the time. So maybe I'll get lucky next week. I'll have Will and Ted. So, folks,
Yeah.
thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm very happy that Will got the new phone and that he likes it. And we'll see what he and I think about it next week. So you all have a very blessed weekend, and let's always remember we all do better when we love each other. Here comes our usual pregnant pause.